The number one flowering plant for native bees and butterflies and moths is a goldenrod. And if you don't have it in your garden, you really need to put a couple in. I'm going to show you some videos, little shorts in this video of 5 species that I grow that are excellent garden plants. And at the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you why these are so important. First, I just want to go over a couple of things that make people hesitant about growing goldenrod. The number one is it's going to give people hay fever, and that's just not the case. You know, the pollen in goldenrod is very heavy, and it needs to be moved around from plant to plant by bumblebees and other pollinators, but not by wind. So the culprit is ragweed, which blooms at the same time as goldenrod. It's much less visible because the seeds are just kind of brownish and green, and the goldenrod are like brilliant yellow. So people see the goldenrod, their noses are all stuffed up, their eyes itch, and they say, well, that goldenrod is giving me allergies, but that's just not the case. So don't worry about getting hay fever from goldenrod. The next reason is that they can be so aggressive. And that's true. Some species can. But the species I'm going to show you are not those species. I'm going to show you clumping form and forms that grow very slowly, so you don't have to worry about them taking over your garden. Another reason is they get really tall and they flop over. Well, that may be the case depending on the species that you get. But there's plenty of shorter ones, plenty that you can chop back and keep short and full. So that's not really an issue. And I think another reason I hear a lot is I don't really have enough sun for goldenrod. Now, there are goldenrod that will grow in the shade, and they're just as valuable as the ones that grow in the sun. So let's take a look at these 5 that I grow. I grow more than 5, but I'm just going to show you 5. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to let you know why these are so important. Okay, so hang in there. Number 1 is early goldenrod, Solidago Jonesia. So I didn't plant these in the hill garden here. They just came up on their own. And I didn't even know what they were. You know, this little bushy plant came up and had really nice foliage. And I put it on iNaturalist, and they suggested this species, and then it was confirmed by some of their experts. And I really like it, you know, and it got nice and bushy and green. And this was around early April, I would say. It wasn't even May yet. And then the deer chomped it down. So the deer will eat this, despite what they tell you on some of these websites. But they seem to like it when it's young and fresh greens, you know, and in the winter, because it stays green all winter. This is a great plant. Bumblebees like it, monarch butterflies, other butterflies, pollinators. It's a nice bushy plant. It spreads very slowly. This clump is like 5 years old. It's maybe doubled in size. They say it spreads by rhizome. I haven't seen that. You know, it has beautiful fall colors. So this is it in November. This is late fall. Really pretty seed heads, pretty red stems, pretty red foliage. It's really nice in the winter, and it hasn't even gone to seed yet. These are just seed heads. These will stay right through December before they finally fluff up and go to seeds. So this is a really nice plant. 4 seasons of enjoyment in your garden, because it's kind of evergreen. You have this bushy green foliage. I'm going to show you in a minute, and then it makes a nice green bushy plant in the spring, and then in the summertime, it gets beautiful, beautiful flowers. It's early goldenrod because if you don't chop it back, it'll bloom in July, you know. Here's the foliage in December, you know, very nice. And it'll get a little bigger and then just kind of hang out like this all winter. And although this is the time to protect it from the deer because, you know, they're hungry, they'll munch it. But it's a really nice plant. It takes sun or partial sun. Dry conditions are perfectly fine. It doesn't get too big. If you chop it back in early June, it makes a nice full bushy plant, and you'll be happy with this plant. Number 2 is Wreath goldenrod or blue stem goldenrod, Solidago cassia, however you want to say it. So these are seedlings that I started in the winter of 2024. I collected some seed from a native plant garden, and I planted them, winter stratified them. I kept them in containers over winter outside, and they sprouted in the spring of 2025. And then around June or so, I planted them in the hill garden here. And look at them. This is late September, beginning of October, and they're just beautiful. And as you can see, the pollinators absolutely love them. This is a great pollinator plant. This grows in the shade, and it's clump forming, so it's not going to get out of hand. It's a nice clump forming plant, and these are in some sun. They get sun in the morning, but they're shaded in the afternoon. You can see they're quite nice, and these are first-year seedlings. So next year they'll be a little bigger. I think they'll get to about 3 foot tall, 2.5, 3 foot tall. It's an excellent plant for a small garden. Really pretty. And it grows, it's native to the whole eastern part of North America, up into Canada, down into Florida. So it's definitely a native plant for most of us on the eastern part of the United States. It tolerates dry very well. It doesn't need a lot of moisture. It's deer resistant. Deer have never touched this one. As far as I know, it's pretty deer resistant. As you can see, the bumblebees absolutely love it. So this is a great goldenrod for a smaller garden, well behaved, not too tall, grows in the shade, takes the dry. Deer don't eat it. I mean, gee, what more do you want? Solidago cassia is an excellent plant for your garden. Number 3 is stiff goldenrod, Oligonoron rigidum or Solidago rigidum. You see it online under both names. So this plant is native to 3/4 of the United States. I think it's just not found in Florida and in the far west, but the rest of the country has this plant grown in it. Now, it is rare in New Jersey, and what I'm going to show you next is an area that I protected, a natural area in New Jersey that I went to the local government and said, can I protect this site because it was being plowed over for a boat launch site. And they said, and I explained why, of course, and they said, sure, go ahead, and I roped it off, and now it's protected, and it's doing very well. There was only a couple of plants left, and as you can see, it has spread pretty nicely over the course of several years. But as you can also see, this is beautiful foliage. If you had that foliage growing in your garden, that would be something that looks nice all spring and early summer. And then here it is in September and October. You can see the flowers are just coming out, and it's very pretty. Of course, that's in a naturalized setting. So the flowers are bigger on this goldenrod. They're a little flatter. Bees, butterflies love it. Very deer resistant. This is an excellent plant for the garden. Clump forming. It does self-seed okay, but you can pull out seedlings you don't want. Very easy to grow from seed. Dry soil is fine. Wet soil is fine. It's not fussy. This is a really nice plant. Stiff goldenrod. Number 4 is Showy goldenrod. So this is arguably one of the best garden goldenrods, one of the prettiest. It's well named as Showy goldenrod. So this plant you're looking at is a little seedling from last year that's just blooming this year, and every year it'll get fuller and fuller, and more of these flowers. And you can see the bumblebees just love it. And it blooms a little bit later. This is October. It'll bloom into November. In a minute, I'm going to show you what it looks like in seed. But this is a great garden plant. It's native to a good deal of the United States, from the Dakotas down to Texas, all the way to the East Coast, pretty much all the states in the East other than Florida. And it likes full sun, and it's pretty good in dry conditions. I don't know if it would do too well in a wet area, but it likes medium to dry soil. The deer do not bother this, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, it gets nice red stems. This one doesn't really show it, but when it's growing, it has pretty red stems. So it's a nice plant. Okay, here it is in seed. And again, it's just one plant. Could you imagine if you had a whole clump of these, how pretty it would look? And these seeds, hold on for a long time, well into December before they finally start to all blow away. But even in seed, it's really pretty. And if you look down below a little bit, you can see it still has nice green foliage. So the foliage lasts for a really long time too. So this is a really nice plant. This is one of the best plants. It's a little hard to find. You may need to buy seeds like I did because it's not that common in the trade. And it should be because it's really like the nicest goldenrod, one of the nicest for sure that you can put in your garden. Number 5 is rough or wrinkle leaf goldenrod, Solidago rugosa. This is by far one of my favorite goldenrods. So what you're looking at here is a little clump that I saved from a railroad track area that was getting sprayed with Roundup. And I dug up the surviving 2 plants. And one is here and one is in my garden at home. So it makes a nice little clump. It does spread by rhizomes, but they're short rhizomes. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute where it has spread a little bit, but not bad. It's very controllable. It's so pretty. It's pretty in bud, it's pretty in flower, and it's pretty in seed. I really like this plant. So it's native to the whole eastern part of the United States. I don't think it's native to Florida. It is native in Texas, and it goes east from there. Bees, butterflies, the birds like the seeds on this plant. If you want to bring birds to your garden, there's all kinds of sparrows, indigo buntings, lots of birds like the seeds of this plant, for some reason, more than the other goldenrods. So supposedly it likes to be wet. I don't know. This is a dry garden, and it thrives. It does really well. There's a lot of subspecies, apparently, and varieties. So perhaps this is a variety that can take it drier. Mine do not get that tall. They get 3.5 feet tall. If you go online, they say 6 foot. Mine aren't even close to that, So it's very, very pretty. I recommend this plant. The deer don't like it. Did I mention that? Those rough leaves are not palatable to deer at all. Here it is with some asters, obviously in the fall. Those New England asters there and some little white all asters starting to bloom in front of it. So this is a patch that has spread a little bit. It's 7 years old, and you can see it's not totally out of control. So it's definitely a plant you want to consider for your garden. Solidago rugosa, very, very pretty plant. Okay, so there's 5 species that I grow. There's actually somewhere between 75 and 100 species of goldenrod that grow in North America. So even if you're watching this in California or Texas or Florida, wherever you're watching this from, I happen to be in northeastern New Jersey, there are goldenrods all over the country, and they all have the same beneficial properties. So there's no excuse for not growing goldenrods for that reason. The main reason that you really want to grow goldenrod, the National Wildlife Federation rates them number 1 for host plants for butterflies and moths. Something like 121 species of moths and butterflies use this plant as a host species. So what that means is they lay their eggs on the foliage, the eggs hatch, little caterpillars come out. Songbirds need thousands and thousands of caterpillars to feed their babies just to raise one crop of babies, one brood. Doug Talamay, I believe is the University of Delaware, has done studies. Little chickadees, little tiny songbirds need between 6,000 and 9,000 caterpillars to raise one brood of babies. And then they need even more once the baby's fledged. That's just to get them to fledge, you know. So we really need caterpillars if we want to continue to see our songbirds and maintain ecological balance in the environment. And goldenrod is just the #1 plant for producing that. And they're beautiful, that's, you know, another reason. But then there's the pollinators. So many pollinators use this plant for food. There's several specialist bees that can only use the pollen from various species of goldenrod. And then also there's the seeds in the fall. So here in northeastern New Jersey, we have all the song sparrows, white-throated sparrows, juncos, all these little sparrows that come from the north. Some are here year-round, and they need these seeds to survive in the winter. You know, the seed is very, very tiny, but a single goldenrod plant makes thousands and thousands of seeds. You know, so goldenrod is one of the most important plants. It's considered a keystone plant by the National Wildlife Federation, which means that it's one of the basis for all wildlife. Very, very important plant. So grow some goldenrods, do a little investigation. Maybe you want to grow the ones that I've shown you. They're all available online, the seeds, so easy from seed. Almost all of mine I've grown from seed. And you won't be sorry. There's a goldenrod for every environment that you have in your garden. So grow some goldenrod, help the planet, help the little bees, butterflies, help our wild birds, and feel good about yourself for doing something good for nature. Okay, we'll see you on the next one.